Hi guys, so this is the Mac Daddy of all Range Rover Sports. It's called the SVR. It was produced by Jaguar Land Rover's Special Operations Division, which means that it's got some very bespoke bits and pieces that make it an extremely quick SUV. In fact, it's got the quickest lap time around the Nürburgring for an SUV, a production SUV. It's based on the top of the range Range Rover Sport, which comes with a 5-litre supercharged V8 producing 375 kilowatts. SVR has fitted the higher tuned version of that engine that produces 405 kilowatts and 680 newton meters. This engine's also found in the F-Type R and a few other Jaguar Land Rover models, the high-end models. This test car is coated in Estoril Blue, which is a very unique colour for the Range Rover Sport, and I think it looks really nice, especially with all the black trimmings. So you've got a black trimming along the back there, black Range Rover badge, little black aerial on the roof there. All the window sills are black, and it's got these vents. It's normally a part of the black pack. Interestingly, these vents don't actually go anywhere, which is a bit disappointing really, because it's it's the world's fastest SUV around the Nürburgring, so you'd think they'd actually be functional, but they don't go anywhere, which is a bit weird. This has also got some optional 22-inch alloy wheels. Look at the size of the things. Even those brake calipers behind there, you wouldn't get a smaller than 20-inch rim over the size of those calipers. They're huge. You've probably noticed it's quite slammed on its guts, so to speak. It's got adjustable suspension that you can change the ride height. It's pretty cool. So at the front you've got various intakes, you've got some coolers behind there, much more serious brake duct in the front there, another on the other side, and another cooler on this side as well. This has also got some pumped guards, which I think are optional. I'll go over a few more of the details in the proper review on the website. But yeah, in this exact specification, it's a very appealing SUV indeed. Let's have a look inside. So this car is fitted with some options, as I said. I'll have to go over a few of the details to find out what the options are exactly. But I'm pretty sure these big SVR seats are standard, but the carbon fibre around the dash, along the centre console, steering wheel, and all along here might be optional. I'll have to double check that. Neat little cubby hole. But yeah, the SVR vehicle's got this special badge just in the B pillar there, which is pretty cool. I like the way Range Rover, I think they invented this. The doors actually go right past the sills. So if you've got mud and things sprayed up the side, it doesn't actually touch your leg, although there is a bit of dust on that. But yeah, if you've got big chunks of mud along the side there, like normally it would be here, you brush up against it every time you get in and out of the car. But this extended door means that it just covers it up. So it is a bit of a step up. It is an SUV, even though this is lowered, so that'll actually be higher off the ground if you wanted it to be. But yeah, very perched up view, although still quite submerged into sort of a sports car setting. I love the attention to detail that Jaguar Land Rover vehicles have. Nice button feel, little windows in there that actually light up the temperature that you've set. We'll just start it up, have a listen. So it's a very angry sounding V8 engine. It's quite a contrast for an SUV, but there's no denying that's a beautiful sounding engine. There is a bimodal exhaust which you can switch on and off. You can't really tell the difference when you're just idling, but once you get going it just really barks out the exhaust. So aside from the big chunky seats and the carbon fibre everywhere, it is a Range Rover Sport, so very practical. Plenty of headroom and legroom to move about. Big solid chunky centre console there, and a deep centre console box. We'll have a look at the back seats. Like the front, it's got these semi-individual bucket seats for the back. Again, I don't know if they're optional or not. I'll have to double check that. Plenty of room in the back here. You're not going to be wanting for more space. Nice flat floor for the middle seat passenger, and then your own climate control, although I do think you have to turn it on at the front, but you've got seat heating options as well. I like this suede sort of Alcantara all along the headliner there. Your own vanity lights. It's a very cool car, that's for sure. Another badge on the back there, and a decent sized cargo area. You definitely get the weekly shopping in there, and surprisingly there is a full-size spare in the back, although I don't think it's it's a 21-inch wheel, so if you've got an optional wheel, that'll be the standard size there. Let's take it for a drive and see how it goes. It is a pretty big car. You are aware of that as soon as you start driving, but it's pretty easy to judge. Despite you sort of being submerged and lifted up, it's pretty easy to judge where the corners of the car are. So I've got it in the dynamic mode, which is the sort of sportiest mode there is, and then I've got it in S, and as soon as you hit a paddle, it'll go into manual mode, or command shift as it says. But you're probably wondering, so how can a Bigfoot Range Rover possibly set a track record? Well, it's an SUV record, but how does it actually feel? Surprisingly agile, actually. The steering is very responsive. It'll change directions like a much smaller car, and the chassis will keep up. It doesn't possess major body roll, and there isn't any sort of delays with the body catching up with the chassis or the steering. Yeah, once you get that power down, it's out of here. Like it just shoots and goes. And with four-wheel drive, the grip is phenomenal. There is some torque steer that I've noticed. So if you put your foot right down in the middle of a corner, the front wheels, the steering wheel does pull and tug a little bit, which is understandable considering the amount of power the engine's producing. But yeah, the handling is very impressive. You're not going to have any complaints that it doesn't handle well enough. I'd say the highlight to the car is the engine though. The engine and that sound, it's addictive. Just change down a gear. It just yells and just angrily just accelerates towards the horizon. It's really quick. Range Rover quotes 0 to 100 in 4.7 seconds. We haven't timed that yet, but I'm thinking it's going to get even better than that. I just keep thinking how amazing this is, that I'm in a 2.2 ton car, and it's exactly like a high-end super sports car. It's very similar to the Jaguar F-Type in terms of excitement and just the experience. It's obviously not as quick, but it's definitely a very sporty car. That engine though, it's just it's very addictive acceleration. So much grip from the tyres too. It would be interesting to take this car on the track actually, to see what sort of lap times it does compared with just some conventional sports sedans and sports cars. But of course, when you don't want to drive like you're in a major rush, you just hit auto, raise the suspension a little bit, and you've got yourself a comfortable cruiser. The ride is still a little bit firm. You can tell that there's hints of something serious going on underneath. Those big tyres probably don't provide much give, or the low profile tyres. But overall, it's a very luxurious and comfortable vehicle. So on first impressions, it's 10 out of 10 for excitement. You cannot buy an SUV that's just this exciting and this intense, currently on the market anyway. The engine sound, the engine performance, acceleration, pair that in with Range Rover's typical luxury and quality, you've got yourself a very appealing package. I'll go over more details in the more in-depth review on the website soon. We'll do our usual performance video as well to see what sort of time this big beast produces. But until then, thanks for watching. So as you can see, that's with the suspension in off-road mode. Much bigger gap between the tyre and the wheel arch, and more ground clearance.